Welcome back to ciLiving. Today, Julia has brought along a feathered animal friend. So who do we have here?
This is Cypress. He's our barred owl. And he's called that because if you look at his belly, oh, he's hyper-focused right now. If you look at his belly, he has bars.
Oh, listen to that. So what is that? What does that call for?
He talks all the time. So in the wild, that would be something that they use for courtship. So he would call to a female and she would call back. But the most fun thing about their call is if you learn it, you can go out in your backyard right now and you can learn that call. And if one is close enough, it will do it back to you.
That's amazing. So you essentially can attract the attention of a barred owl. That is so cool.
And they'll call back and forth to you.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So we were talking about the bars on his belly.
Bars on his
he
belly.
decided to entertain us.
Yes. So here in Illinois, we have barn owls and barred owls. So they sound similar, but they're different. You can tell him apart because he's got the bars on his belly. And then if you look at his back, he has this beautiful camouflage that would blend in with a tree trunk just impeccably.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and it
Maybe
almost camouflages with my shirt.
Yeah, and you can imagine him sitting against a tree. You would barely see him. You'd hear him before you saw him.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
All right, I have so many questions.
Great.
So let's start with how long do owls live and how old is Cypress?
So we estimate that Cypress hatched in 2003. So he would be 22 years old.
Wow.
He is a December baby, so he'll be coming up on that date soon. And these in the wild only tend to live 10 to 15 years. But in human care, there's nothing bigger than them to hunt them. So around here we have great horned owls, which would be a predator for this species. We also have vet care for all of our animals. So even if he is healthy, everything's going well, he'll still have an annual checkup, just like students go every year to the doctor. So do our animals, at least once a year. And then if something's off, we have them check him too.
Of course.
And then he's getting a balanced diet. So we feed him chicks, we feed him quail, we feed him mice, we feed him rats. He gets a bird of prey diet, which is uncooked meatballs for birds of prey.
Sure.
And the best part about owls in that way is that when they eat something, they eat all of it. And they have this ripping and tearing mechanism, but they're swallowing all of it, and then they pellet up the things that they can't digest. So the hair, the teeth, the nails, all of it.
Right.
A lot of people think that's unique to owls, but that's all birds of prey. So you've met Jess the kestrel before.
Yes.
Her pellets are teeny tiny, and then his are pretty medium sized, but our Eagle Beauty, hers are about that big.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And so I see that Cypress is kind of moving his neck around a lot and twisting his head. Owls can turn their heads all the way around, right? Or is that a myth?
All the way around. They can go 270 degrees. So if you think about it, he could look over one shoulder and go to the other shoulder and then go back the other way. The reason I believe that myth came to be is because they can do it back and forth very quickly. So it would look they were spinning back and forth, but they're not. They're going opposite ways.
Right. So they're turning, but they're not actually turning around. It's just an optical illusion to our eyes then.
Yes. Do you know why they can turn it so far though?
Why?
Because their eyes are fixed in a socket.
Okay.
When you look over your shoulder, when your neck stops, your eyes keep going.
Right.
But with them, they can't move their eyes. They have to move just their head.
Right. And I'm noticing kind of the slow blinks as well. So you mentioned sort of what they eat in captivity, and then that would be the same sort of types of animals that they would be hunting. What about reproduction?
They are egg layers. So true birds that lay eggs, they'll lay 2 to 4 perfectly round eggs. They'll sit on them. They mate for life, and they usually return to the same nest site. So if you have owlets, you'll likely have them year after year.
Year after year, which I think hummingbirds are the same thing, because I had friends who had hummingbirds that kept coming back to the same nest, and we always sort of relate the animals that you bring to the sea animals that I love.
Yes.
And sea turtles go back to the same beach where they were hatched, and they lay their own eggs there. So that's really cool.
Right?
That it's sort of that like homey feeling. But that's interesting to me, the animal instinct for them to like remember and know where to find their mate, because they're generally solitary besides when they're mating, right?
Yes, exactly. So they'll do that courtship call, find each other, mate, and then they'll make a nest in a tree cavity or an abandoned nest from another bird, and they'll have those 2 to 4 eggs, and they will sit on them for about a month together, keeping them warm until they hatch. And then this species, once they hatch and have their owlets, they start creeping out onto the branches, and they're called branchers. So they'll do that for about 40 days, and then they'll start fledging, which is flying away.
Which is flying and actually leaving the nest. Now, you had mentioned that owls are actually less intelligent than we perhaps give them credit for. So can you explain that a little bit?
So we always think of owls as these wise creatures, but in reality, they aren't that wise. I know, he turned away.
I was going to say, he's like, you're talking about me. I don't like this.
He has incredible adaptations that make him good at being an owl. He has sharp talons. He has incredible hearing. He can hear a mouse nestling in the grass a mile away from him.
Oh, wow.
He has asymmetrical hearing, so one ear up here and one down here, which provides him the ability to hear 360 degrees around him.
Oh, wow.
He also has this satellite face shape that pulls the sound to him. And then if you look, he has large eyes.
Yes.
So back to the wise thing. If you and I had the dimensions of an owl, we would have oranges for eyeballs and still have to fit a brain in there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All instinct.
All instinct.
All instinct.
That's amazing.
Yes.
And so then this owl could be a greeter, because at Miller Park Zoo, you can rent the space for events, right? Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
We do have facility rentals. So all year long, you can call us up for birthday parties or parties for your work, events, anything you have going on, and you can rent our space out. And you have options. You can add an otter feeding. You can see in the summer if the gator will eat for you. You can book an animal greeter. So Cypress will be there to welcome all of your friends, family, coworkers if you'd like to book him at the zoo.
That's amazing. All right, so we have about a minute left.
Okay.
So what is your absolute favorite owl fun fact?
That they are silent flyers.
Okay.
Remember, they're predators, they're eating meat, and their prey cannot hear them when they're coming up on them. So if you and I are really quiet, you'll hopefully not hear this.
Wow.
So
that's incredible. It's absolutely silent, and just, I mean, you sort of like feel that was like majestic. That's hard to describe. I wish I could describe that to you through the TV, how it's completely silent. You don't hear anything.
They soar. Yep.
Well, Julia, thank you so much for being here, and Cypress, thank you so much for being such a great ambassador.